Hi, my name is Steve Gielda, and I'm one of the co-founders of Ignite Selling. Thank you for spending 5-6 minutes with me right now, learning more about how to maintain momentum in your sales pipeline during times of uncertainty. We're going to be focusing just on one particular aspect of how do you drive momentum in your pipeline, and that really is by examining the key influencers that we're talking to. There's so much that can be said about, are we talking to the right people? How do we know they're the right people? Who has higher influence than whom? So I want to introduce you to a tool called the Influencer Snapshot. The Influencer Snapshot is a simple 2x2 matrix. As you can see on the vertical axis, it has who has high influence, who has low influence. And on the horizontal axis, who's our adversaries and who's our advocates. Filling out this particular tool will take the matter of minutes, particularly if we've been working in the account for any number of months. But the reality of it is do we have the picture right? Are we making assumptions that we maybe shouldn't be making? So this particular snapshot tool is designed to help us in 4 ways. 1, it helps us validate who really is important and involved in the decision. Number 2, it helps us begin thinking about how do we develop strategies to strengthen and leverage our advocates. It helps us begin to explore ways to neutralize our adversaries and helps us identify roadblocks and establishing alternative plans to maintain momentum. So let's just take a look at an example. As I said, filling out this particular snapshot tool shouldn't take much time at all. Here's a simple example where we have a CFO, division vice president, project manager, followed by a project lead, a field technician, and an engineer. And you can see above the horizontal line that the CFO, the division vice president, and the project manager have higher influence than those people below the horizontal line. Now, just because they're below the line doesn't mean they have no influence. If they're on this influencer snapshot, they obviously have some influence in the decision. The other way we have to look at this is who is our advocate and who's our adversaries? Well, if you look at the vertical line as a divide, the people that are our advocates is that division vice president, the project lead, and the field technician. And the adversaries, the people that don't support us for some reason or another, it might be the CFO, the project manager, and the engineering department at this particular scenario. So we have to think about, can we win with this picture? Is this picture favorable? If not, what must we do in order to try to improve the picture? Well, we have a couple of options. One option is that we might want to consider is to try to reduce the level of influence of the CFO. Now, how would we do that? Well, you typically would have to try to raise the level of influence or the level of importance in this particular decision, in this case by the division vice president or the project manager. Another alternative is that we can look at is to try to neutralize the CFO, help them understand that the things to which the perceptions they have about our solution or about our company might be misunderstood. And in addition to that, we can continue to strengthen some of our position elsewhere. Frankly, there's no necessarily right or wrong answer here, but regarding the situation in your account, why do certain people support you? Why do certain people not support you? Will greatly depend upon the strategy that you build. The purpose of this influencer snapshot is simply to give us a picture, a snapshot in time of what does the opportunity look like right now. If you begin to explore the opportunities that you have in the middle stages of your pipeline today, could you draw this picture? How do you know this picture is accurate? Who can you talk to validate that? These are some things that we need to begin exploring now. In addition, I want to give you 6 key questions that you can consider. The first question is, how has this uncertain economy changed the critical metrics that your key influencers are responsible for this fiscal year? Let's face it, in times of uncertainty or times of change, key metrics within inside an organization change as well. And therefore, the influencers that we're talking to are being held accountable to different metrics. Do you know what those metrics are? More importantly, do you know how they're measured? The second question is how are your key influencers measuring their success against those metrics? The more that we have insights on these things, we can begin to help create value for our solution in terms of how they can help those key influencers achieve the metrics they're being held accountable to. This third question says, who can you speak to that can validate your assumptions regarding who is really involved in the decision? So if you have this influencer snapshot drawn up, who can validate it for you? Who can you talk to? Is it somebody inside your own company? Is it a partner? Is it maybe a strong advocate that you have that maybe can validate who really does support your solutions and who does not? This fourth question says, what has been said or done to confirm your advocate truly is your advocate? It's important for us to understand those people that merely are willing to spend time with us or that are nice to us or maybe even using our product isn't necessarily an advocate. They are merely just nice people who use our product. We are looking for those people to whom we truly can leverage, potentially to help us neutralize an adversary. Like this fifth question says, how have you leveraged your advocates to help you neutralize an adversary? Have you asked them? Could you ask them now in the midst of this time of uncertainty? If they have time on their hands, could you ask them what they're willing to do or maybe help you develop a strategy? And this last question says, what can be done if you can't neutralize or reduce the influence of your strongest adversary? These are just a few questions that we encourage you to begin thinking about as you begin to explore what are you going to do in the midst of this time of uncertainty. It's important for us to always maintain pipeline momentum. We don't want to see opportunities stall. And often opportunities will stall because we're talking to the wrong people about the wrong things or we're making some assumptions. So I hope this little 5-minute video was helpful for you. If you want some more information, I encourage you to schedule some time on my calendar. Let's talk and let me know how I can help you. Thanks again for taking some time with us. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.